What's up, guys? It's Hammer Down 48 coming at you today. Yes, I am excited. I hope you guys are excited. Detroit Lions wins this game 14-7. Now, before we get into this, obviously all my review games, I look at all the stats and stuff. And before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about something here. Our defense. I'm telling you what, man. Our defense is freaking stacking up plays for us. This defense won this game for us. We had three fumble recoveries. And two of them by Whitehead. I'm so stoked, man. I'm just, this team is going in the right direction this year. Going in the right direction. And before we start looking at the stats, I want to also say something else. To all the Minnesota Viking fans, all you guys were talking shit on my videos, my preview video. All these Vikings fans saying, "Oh, the Detroit Lions don't have a better defense than us. The Vikings have a better defense than the Lions." Well, I told you, you guys were wrong. I told you the Detroit Lions had a better defense than the Minnesota Vikings. You talk all that shit on my video, and you still get blown out in defense. I told you guys. I told you, watch out for the Detroit Lions this year. Watch out, because we're fucking hungry and we're ready to fucking take the NFC North away. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumped right now. You know, to all of the Minnesota Vikings fans out there, sorry about you guys today, but the defense on our side was better than yours, and I told you that in my video. So, let's get into this game stats here. Lions win 14-7. This was was all defense. Our offense, with my opinion, I was not happy with our offense today. My opinion, the offense kind of looked kind of shitty today. But sometimes you're gonna have games. You're gonna have games like that to where your offense doesn't play very well. But when our offense don't play well, we need our defense to come in together and start making plays. And that's what we did today. Our defense come up with 3 fumble recoveries, put pressure on Case Keenum. We did very good in defense. So, let's go through the stats here. Matthew Stafford had no touchdowns today. No touchdowns. He went 19 over 31, 209 yards. I don't like that. I don't like that. I think Matthew Stafford should have had at least a touchdown. If he would have pulled off a touchdown, we would have closed this game out. We would have closed this game out 21-7 instead of 14-7. Case Keenum, on the other hand, 16 out of 30, 219 yards. Amir Abdul, here we go, baby. We were so close. We were so close breaking 100-yard rushing since Reggie Bush was with us. 20 carries, 94 yards, and 1 touchdown. My opinion, we would have broke that 100-yard rushing if Amir Abdul didn't get hurt. I don't know if he's actually too hurt. I hope he's okay. We need him. But the running game has showed us today that if we can run the ball, we can win games. If we can run the ball, we can win games. Cook rushing in for the Minnesota, 13 carries, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. I seen he got hurt too. Receiving in, Marvin Jones, 2 receptions, 42 yards. Diggs, 5 receptions, 98 yards. That's what I'm saying. The offense, in my opinion, today was played shitty. The offense played shitty today. But give it up to the defense. The defense is the reason why we won this game today. And every game we go into, the defense is climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. And I like what I see. Every game we played, we came up with some kind of recovery. Interception. Fumble. That's what we need. And I like how we gave pressure to the Case Keenum. So we're going to go through a score summary before I start looking at everybody's comments. Obviously, first half was not good. Did not like what I see. Both teams had 0 points in the first quarter. Second quarter, the Vikings outscored us 7-3. We go into halftime down 7-3. I took that. I kind of liked that, even though we were behind the game. But usually what happens is when we go into halftime, the Detroit Lions are always behind in football games. So I kind of had a lot of faith. I felt really good going into halftime and going into third quarter that the Detroit Lions were down. Because we always come out firing. I don't understand it. Every time we're down in a football game, going into halftime, we come out in the third quarter and fourth quarter, and we just fucking demolish. So in the third quarter, we outscored Minnesota 11-0. Fourth quarter, nothing on both sides. And that's how you get your 14-7. That's basically it for my stats. I mean, I'm going to go here, the team stats, getting a little bit deeper in here. Hopefully, you guys can see me. A little bad lighting going on, I don't know. Let's see here. We had 19 first downs. Vikings had 15 first downs. Total yards, 251 for us. Minnesota had actually more yardage than us at 284. Let's see here. And there it is right there. Turnovers. 3 turnovers for the Detroit Lions that helped us out to win this game. So, I like what I see. We're going to start reading comments here in just a second. Now, hopefully you guys can see me. I'm trying to do this with the sunlight out here. Now the Detroit Lions, we are 3-1 going in to week 5. Tied for first place with the Packers. And I tell you what, guys, I'm telling you what. Watch out for the Detroit Lions. Watch out for the Detroit Lions. We are coming for the Packers. We're coming for the NFC North because we're fucking hungry. And I keep telling you guys, the Lions defense, there ain't no joke. They're not a joke this year. And we're tired of getting hate on and shit on onto the television about, oh, Detroit Lions ain't nothing. You better watch what you say because we're coming. We are coming to take the NFC North from anybody that gets in our way. So let's read some of the comments here. Let's see here. What we got here? All right. Wayne 631 says, Adam, once again cost the Vikings the game. Yeah, is that the kicker? I don't know. I know the Minnesota Vikings, they missed a field goal. If they would not have missed the field goal, it would have been a closer game. Actually, it would have been 14-10, and all the Vikings had to do is score a touchdown just to take the lead. Sebastian, is that how you say your name? Says, hope we get Davis back next week, man. I agree. I agree. He has been totally missed in the last two goddamn games with us. Um, my opinion, we did not get enough sacks this game, and we got sacked more, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about too. We've missed Davis a lot. My opinion, he needs to be in the game next week. He should be. He's been out for 2 weeks, but he's the one that makes the plays for us, that helps us out. I think he could be a good key factor to our line when he comes back. When he's not there, I can totally see that he's been missed a lot. So I do agree. Hope we get Davis back next week. Let's see here. Austin Rich, the Vikings did expose expose our line. Yeah, I agree. Quarter Mike says 14-7 isn't a blowout. They had Case Keenum. I'm not saying it was a blowout. I'm just saying I'm talking about stats wise in the second half. I'm not talking about points. I'm not talking about 14-7. I'm talking about how every time when Detroit gets down, going into halftime, the Lions blow out their opponents. Second half. That's what I was trying to get at. Let's see here. Vine Complexions. Say great job, Lions. Thank you. By the same person, he said, I have a question. Do you think the Lions could beat the Panthers? Well, I tell you what, the last time I checked, I think the Panthers were tied. I don't know. I can't remember, but I know they were putting up a fight. That could be another tough matchup. But the thing is, it's not in Carolina. It's in Detroit. So you got to put that in the factor, that it's at home. We're 3-1. This crowd's going to be crazy. So it could be another tough matchup. If you like my videos, keep checking my channel. I'll give out my preview of that game and then look at the stats and see what the stats add up on. And it could be a good game, but I still think Detroit might have advantage. Not quite yet, because it's in Detroit. Quarter Mike says the Vikes D is good. I agree and disagree. I mean, if their defense was good, they shouldn't have gave up that second touchdown. My opinion. They do have a good defense. I still think Detroit's defense is better, and that's the reason why Detroit came up on top. We gave the Vikings many chances to either tie that game or take the lead. They didn't do it. And yeah, maybe their offense is not that well because of Case Keenum playing. But I still think Detroit's defense is still better, even if Sam Bradford was playing. So, Vince says, dude, I'm so glad to see you not tearing your house apart. Yeah. I was a little worried about going through mixed emotions because of that game last week. Glad that we came back up on top on this game. And not having a controversy call. So, yes, I'm glad I'm not tearing up my house either. So, that's a good sign. Let's see here. Lisa said 6 rushing yards away. Yeah, we were that close right there. That close. I'm breaking 100 rushing yards. since Reggie Bush, which was probably 2012 or 13. It's somewhere around there. And I know he would have broke that 100-yard rushing if he wasn't hurt. They would have gave him the ball. In my opinion, he was at, 90 something? 90 something yards. And my opinion, if he didn't get hurt, he would have had at least 110 yards. At least. It would have been way over 100. So, yes, we were that close to breaking that 100 rushing yards since Reggie Bush. The Vine guy said, just check the Panthers won 33-30. Yeah, I thought it was a tie game. So like I said, I think the Panthers, they got okay defense. I think they got a good offense, so it could be a good game. We'll see what comes up in the next couple of days when I start looking at stats and put my video out. Quarter Mike said the difference between the defense is that one faced a backup quarterback and a running back. I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree with that, because even if they put Sam Bradford in, I still think Detroit's defense is better. I still think. I don't understand why you guys don't think Detroit's defense is good. Go back the last 4 games, and Detroit's came up at least 2 interceptions or more. Today we had 3 fumble recoveries. In at least every game we had some kind of takeaway. And it's been like 2 to 3 takeaways. So, I mean, you're saying that the difference between the defense is that they put up Case Keenum, and you think Sam Bradford would play, and we would have not won. I disagree. I just think the defense is still better, even if you put Sam Bradford in. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Vince. They played the New England, so yeah, it could be a good game against Detroit, against the Panthers defense. I don't know how you say your name, but you said we need Stafford to pick up this game. I agree, and here's the thing I want to talk about, since you just mentioned about Stafford. Stafford got sacked quite a bit today. And we got to protect Stafford more. That's why Stafford, in my opinion, did not have a good day today. Could not throw the ball down the field as much. I just think that today, what we've seen today with Matthew Stafford, we should not worry about. I think it's fine. Like I said, every game you're going to have your offense line play shitty. And I think the offense line played shitty today. But the defense picked it up. So, by going into next week, we're going to have to fix that. Because we're going to play another good team that just won against the Patriots, I believe. And we're going to have to show up again. But with offense. So I wouldn't even worry about Matthew Stafford having a bad day today. He still played with good numbers, just no touchdowns. I just think it's just a fluke in the game that Matthew Stafford could not get no touchdowns, and the line needs to protect more. And if we can do that, we'll be ready for next week and surprise a lot of people. Roy, I don't know how to say your name. I guess it's Royden. Royden is that how you spell? Yeah, that's how you say your name. Royden. Just win, baby. That's all that matters. That and got to get healthy. I agree. I think Amir Abdullah will be okay. I didn't look too much serious injury. Obviously, we want Jared Davis back in this lineup. Let's see here. Got a lot of comments coming in. Thank you guys. If you're still watching, hit that likes up button. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. We're looking good here. Let's see here. Yeah, I agree on this this comment that you said, Royden. We just have to survive till Decker comes back with our old line. Will be very good. I agree. See, you guys can still see me, right? Yeah. We're surviving right now. Last year we were not where we were last year, with injuries last year. So this year we're doing a lot better with injuries. We're still getting a little bit more, but we're surviving. Let's see here. I know this is getting a little brighter out, but let's see here. Quarter Mike says because turnovers don't gauge whose D is better stats. Do you do stats? I'm almost every other. Okay, you got me confused here, man. Let me see if I can try to read this again. Because turnovers don't gauge whose D is better stats do. In almost every other stat, the Vikes are better. They had 5 defense Pro Bowlers. They have better players at every level. Okay. Are you a Vikings fan? Are you a Vikings fan, brother? Because, I'm not dissing your team. I'm not dissing your team here. Let me see if I can get a little bit. I know it's a little bit brighter out, but I'm not dissing your team here. What I'm trying to say is that if you had a better defense, if you had a better defense to Detroit, then why did you guys couldn't. How many times did you have opportunities? I know we had opportunities too. I'm not saying you have a bad defense. Detroit had a lot of opportunities to blow this game to where it could have been a 21-7 lead or a 30-something to 7 lead or whatever, a 14, where you want to put it. I'm not saying Minnesota has a bad defense. What I'm trying to get to is that you also had opportunities to get down the field, and you couldn't do that. And with fumbles, I still think the defense gets credit of that. Defense is there to pick up the ball. The defense there is to knock the ball out. So I know you're probably a Vikings fan, and I'm not dissing your team, man. But I just think that Detroit's defense deserved it more than the Vikings today. Quarter Mike says the Lions' offense is amazing, but the 3 turnovers is a game unstable, and then the D is, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not trying to burst your bubble here, but I don't know if you're a Vikings fan, but I think Detroit's defense is the reason why they won this game, and the defense deserves it more than the Vikings. Austin Rich says Zach Zinner saved us when Stafford fumbled. He is the unsung hero. I agree. Vince says to Quarter Mike, you cannot gauge one game. Look at their last few. There you go, Mike. I told you, look at the last, go back, if you really want to argue the situation, go back to the last 4 games against our Detroit Lions for last 4 games. Look at their defensive stats. It's not, you can't gauge on one game. I agree. You can't figure out on one game. You got to look at back in the last couple games. So I agree on that. What Vince said. Let's see here. Royden says, "When's the last time we could say we play like trash on offense and still won game?" Yeah, I mean, it was rough. It was rough to see Stafford play the way he was playing. It was not, my opinion, was not very good. And all we could have hoped for was the defense to come up and stop this game, which we did. Coming up with 3 fumble recoveries. 3 fumble recoveries. I like that. Everything King just said, let's go. 3-1, baby. We're getting ready. I'm pumped up. It's something. I know. I want to say something real quick here. You know, a lot of people is underestimating Detroit. My opinion, and I'm not going to get back into what happened last week. We put that aside. But we shouldn't be 3-1. We should be 4-0, baby. 4-0 right now. Taking first place in that NFC North. I'm not going to get into it because you've already seen what happened when I got into it last week. But Detroit is going to shock the world this year. We're going to shock the world. I always keep saying that. I keep saying that in my videos. I keep putting that on Facebook. Shock the world. Because nobody doesn't like Detroit. We're always a disappointing team, or they're just hating on us because what happened in the past. Stop judging the book by its title. Detroit is not the same team. We're here to win games. We're here to show that Detroit is ready to win this NFC North. And by doing that, out of these first 4 games of the season, we went 3-1. That's a good stat right there. I like that. Should have been 4-0, but I'm letting it go. But out of those first 4 games, you win 3-1. I like that. That's a good way. That's a good start for the Detroit Lions to find a rhythm in this NFC North. I'm telling you what, and the Packers don't look too very well. That's why I'm saying I'm going to use the same exact term as Ezekiel Elliott is using. Feed us more, baby, because you know why? We are hungry. We're ready to take that NFC North. So watch out for the Detroit Lions. I'm telling you this right now. I'm going to keep fucking saying it too. We're ready. Let's take a look at a couple more comments here before we end this. Let's see. Austin Rich says Panthers are going to be another defense battle. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be another probably good tough matchup. The only good thing I'm looking forward to is that it's in Detroit. It's going to be a tough matchup. But as the week goes on, I'll look at the stats and I'll get that out for you guys this week. So, anyways, as you guys know, Detroit Lions, we won. Let's celebrate because we got a lot of work to do here. before I close this video out, I want to talk about a couple things here before we go into next week. Obviously, we need to protect Stafford. The line did not do its job today. Took a lot of sacks to Stafford today. So we got to fix that. Defense, keep it where it's at, baby, up at the top. We like what we've seen today. And let's go home. Let's get on the plane today. Let's go home. Let's celebrate this win. But let's focus on another week, because we got Panthers at home that just beat I believe the New England Patriots. So it's going to be a tough matchup, but all we got to do is defense needs to show up, offense needs to show up too. So thank you guys for watching. This is Hammer Down 48 coming at you today. If you haven't liked this video, hit that like up button, hit that subscribe button too, and let me see your comments below when you get done watching this video, whatever. So thank you guys for watching. Detroit Lions for life. One pride. Let's go home. Let's celebrate. And let's defend the den at home against the Panthers. I'm going to say this one more time. Watch out for the Detroit Lions, because they're coming for the NFC North. And we we are hungry. We are hungry for the NFC North, and we are striving for it. So, thank you guys for watching. Go Lions. Lions win 14-7. Thank you guys for watching. Go Lions.